You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind. KCAA, your local connection for news, traffic, weather, and sports. AM 1050, KCAA.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. All the fields we go, laughing all the way.
Well, welcome to the show, everybody. And I hope you're staying nice and dry out there. And when you're driving, remember the roads are slippery, a little slick. Slow up a little bit. You'll get to your destination in more than enough time, and you'll get there safe and happy. And then you can be around to celebrate the holidays with us. And also, when you're out and about, if you are stopping at Starbucks, I'm going to tell you, for some reason, the Starbucks we went to today, they are filled to capacity. The line's a little long. So when you go in, talk to the person in front of you or behind you, and before you know it, you'll be through that line. You'll have your cappuccino or whatever drink you're going to be getting, and you're going to be happy. And we got a full house again today. Yay! And our first candidate on board, we're going to have Dr. Allen from Ecosway, and he's going to talk about all of the neat things. Our second guest is Jesse from Jesse J Collections. Yay!
Hey guys, how's it going?
And then we're going to call up a couple of good friends up in Lake Arrowhead. Now, we're not going to tell you who we're going to be calling. You're just going to have to tune in for you can pick it up. And also, we have Mr. Train with us again. Yes, he's going to talk about another gift that you can buy with different kinds of trains. And Rob is on the board with us, so let's get this show on the road. So, Dr. Allen, welcome to the show.
Welcome, Bev. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. It's still Hanukkah, honey. You got one more day for Hanukkah. Yes, and happy Hanukkah to all of our friends out there today. And so would you please tell us about your anniversary party on Sunday?
Yes. Last Sunday on the 9th, we celebrated our one-year anniversary of having our new retail boutique store open in the Inland Empire. It's actually in Colton. And there was very good turnout. People enjoyed the shopping, of course, and then the food and the refreshments we served. But we had a very exciting guest speaker. We got to know a great line of health products because we have a health and nutrition department, one of our 10 departments, and a representative, Ty Cannon from Dr. Delgado Protocol. He runs a clinic in Costa Mesa, California, and Ty Cannon came and did 2 health lectures for the guests, and it was very exciting. Had some wonderful slideshow. There's a slide I just can't forget. There's a gentleman, one of their patients, age 80, looked better physically built, looked like a little Arnold Schwarzenegger. He looked better in his 80s than he did in his 20s. Unbelievable what their whole program will do. Not only the food supplementation, but I guess a exercise routine and positive mental thinking and things like that. But that's part of what our store is about, is the health and nutrition department.
Now, talking about that, before we go on to all the other good things that you are going to be doing here pretty soon, could you explain to all of our listeners the 3 different ways that you could tell from the best, the organic, and how it goes on from there? How does it get at labeling?
Yes. What's nice is we train everyone who works in our store to orient people on how we could, say, categorize our products, say, looking at the label. Over the past 100 years, man thought that they could create in the laboratory what's best for our hair, what's best for our skin, what's best for our teeth, and I call that best of science. And you could read that in the label. And you wouldn't see any natural ingredients such as rosemary extract or something like that. It's all these chemical names that you've never heard of before in your life. And then comes the next category, which is products with the natural ingredients. And then when you start to read it, you go, oh, I recognize that. And then finally, an up-and-coming growing category, and especially on the West Coast, is the organic. And to say the word organic, in the beginning, or organic was slapped on everything in order to boost sales with the retailers. Then finally people said, hey, we need to certify that name and have a certification, because what organic really is to mean is that when it's a natural ingredient, and the way it is farmed, the way the agricultural is no chemical pesticides, and no chemical fertilizer. It's all natural. And then the whole process of the handling, and then they get a certification. And there's about 3 or 4 different certifications depending on which country in the world the organic product comes from. So on our organic products, you'll see the certifications.
Well, I am so glad that you cleared this all up, because like you were saying in the beginning, when organic came out and everybody was using it and you didn't know really what it was, and now since the government is stepping down and telling all of these people, hey, what do you mean by organic? Prove it. And I'm so glad you do it. That's why I shop at your store.
Well, thank you, Beth.
You're welcome. That's one of the reasons why I shop at your store. Now, with the makeup, because everybody's talking about the different rashes and skin diseases and all of this. One of the things that really caught my attention about you and your staff, when I went into that store and there were some people in there and they didn't know exactly what it meant, you or one of your staff members went over and you took the time to explain it to that person. You asked them if they had any diseases, if they're on any medications, this and that and the whole thing. Not too many people would do that. Yeah. Now, with one that is on certain medications, all right, let's say they're going through chemo or radiation, which a lot of people are. They come to you for different products. What is the one thing that they should look for on that label when it says organic?
Yeah, what's good to try to know, and based on just us understanding what our product line is and how it could react with everyone, because everybody does react a little differently, but we do have the typical reaction, the typical best fit. And then, so when somebody is definitely fighting a cancer and their immune system is weak and they're wanting to use a skincare, it's always good to get into the hypoallergenic range, where we have very few fragrances, no formaldehydes, the fewest ingredients possible, so that way for when your skin's extra hypersensitive, it'll be more compatible. And then, but we're finding out now that when it comes to organic, some of the essential oils, especially the rosehip oils, people have a high tolerance for that. It's very healing. And so I'll let people, when they come in, they could first try a little sample. I have at least 4 samples of our certified organic skincare that has rosehip oil in it. And so they could try a drop on the right arm, another drop on the left arm. But they'll wait a day before they come back to the store before they buy it, just in case they end up finding they're a little sensitive to it, a little bit of rash or itch or something, then they can't buy it, Mm-hmm. While someone else who may be undergoing the same type of medical challenge could do it. See, everybody is a little different. We're all unique. And so that's just one of the precautions we take. And so that way, those who are most sensitive, they actually have to take a day before they can buy it.
And that's another thing I love about your store, because when I first came in and you were explaining, and there was some of the body creams that I got. And there's 3 that you sell that is absolutely my favorite ones. And and I tried it, and bada bing, bada boom, I was fine. I came back and I go, okay, this works. And the other thing too is in your baby section with their little shampoos and their body washes and all of that. A mama should do that. The same thing is to try it onto the baby before she buys too, right?
Yeah, especially if the child has a history of being sensitive to almost anything. But we do have a certified organic line for the babies. We have the lotion, the shampoo, and the diaper cream. And what I teach the moms is many times moms will shop with their nose. They will smell, and if it smells good and it smells baby-like, they go, oh, I think my baby will love it. But trust me, the baby is not wanting to smell anything. The baby just wants to be clean, the diaper rash cream, the lotion, shampoo, the hair. And so the fragrances of our baby line really isn't that, say, elegant or attractive. But it does the job, and it has every natural ingredient certified organic. So that's one thing I mentioned about our baby line. It doesn't have that baby smell. And then they're finding out, because there are certain brands, I won't name the names, the company's over 60 years, they've been selling products in America and around the world. Then they found out that there's sometimes a certain percentage of formaldehyde is formed in the baby product. And so it's finally been taken off the shelf over the past 3 years. But see, we're not going to run into that problem.
No, because you do everything right in the beginning, and you're all organic, and you stand behind every product that you have in that store. Because you and your whole staff, you went to school for a long time to learn all of this. Which, which is really nice.
It's unending.
Yeah, that's why we call you the doctor, because you are the doctor. And the other thing, too, that I wanted to talk about on the hair dyes. Now, this was just brought up not too long ago in the news on different hair products with this different hair dyes that all of us have to use, guys, females, it doesn't matter whom, right? Some of the chemicals that are in there that can actually do damage to your health and could start brain cancer cells inside. Yeah. No kidding, Jesse. Yeah, it's really scary. Yeah. Now, with yours, how we can sample the creams and all of that, how does one sample the hair dye to see if they get any side effects or whatever from it?
Yeah, that one's a little different because we'll take care of that on a case-by-case basis. It took a little while for our company finally to decide which hair color to put on the shelves here in America, and it took over 2.5 years since the day we opened our doors here in America. And so we have 3 hair colors and with all the natural ingredients, and we removed all of the harsh chemicals that were typically around with all the hair color that's been around for decades. And so chances are it'll be very compatible with most people and won't cause an itch. But what it is if someone takes our product, puts it on, and then it just wasn't compatible with them, then we'll just do a refund, and then we'll just make a notation that this client, wasn't compatible, because it's something that we don't have on the shelf. We don't have a tester for that. But for a lot of the creams and, of course, the high-end anti-aging skincare, we have all the samples so that I could give them all a little drop. But for the hair color, it's all sealed. You just can't open up the hair color and have a testing sample that you can open and close for a month. It'll oxidize the first day, and then it no longer will work. So something that they'll have to actually bring home, try, and chances are, because of our natural ingredients, taking out all of the other chemicals, the ammonias, the PEGs, and the ethylene glycols, and all that bad stuff, they'll have a good experience. But if the odd person where they're sensitive to something that's in there, we'll take good care of them.
Well, that's good to know. Folks, this is why I do my homework. I meet fantastic people like Dr. Allen to come on to the show to tell you everything that they're doing, and they tell you straight out. And I am so glad you're part of us now. I really am. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then now, and also, let's talk about the really neat thing that's coming up with you from the 14th through the 24th.
Yes, came up with a nice little idea. This is just for our location. Again, we do have 80 stores across the country. So if you're hearing this online and you're in Pennsylvania or Florida, shop the local stores there. But in the city of Colton, where we have the only store in the Inland Empire, we have a little fun promotion called the 10 Days of Christmas. And no purchase required. Just come visit the store and then ask for your free raffle ticket. But if you do start purchasing things, you'll get an extra raffle ticket for every $25 increment that you spend. And then you could win. We'll be drawing a winner tonight at the close of the end of the day, and we'll call them. You won. You don't have to be present to win. And so half of our little raffle prizes are actually products